Only if it's really loud. Hey, everybody, this is the kickoff of the 1976 IFL Championship between the Adeline Assassins and the Dallas Destroyers. We have just gotten underway after some technical difficulties. So it's going to be the Destroyers led by backup quarterback Mike Kruschek. He was backup in the NFL, but he has enough attempts here to start, and he's led these Destroyers to the championship game. They also have Joe Ferguson and Billy Kilmer. So I don't know if we'll see one of the other guys. I know that Tim has strict usage requirements in this league for other positions. Oh, we are going to see Joe Ferguson. So Kruschek played the conference championship. Here's a look at Joe Ferguson's card. Not that great. This is not Ferguson's best year for sure. But low interceptions, so that opens things up a bit. And he does have a good must-run card. Well, decent must-run card. Off tackle left to Andy Johnson to start the game. And that's going to be a 5-yard pickup. Andy Johnson and Pete Banaszak are in the backfield. Also got some other runners there, but these guys have been doing the bulk of the work so far. 2nd and 5. Let's take a look at their offensive line. They go 4-3, 6-7, 0-2, 5-3, and 4-3. And up against the Adeline pass rush, here's a button hook to Andy Johnson, keying Pete Banaszak, and that's going to pick up 10 as the zone was not occupied. Like I was saying, that offensive line with the best pass blocker being a 3, aside from the one stud, Conrad Dobler, who's a 6'7", they're going to be facing guys like Fred Cook, 5'12", Jimmy Webb, 4'8", John Mendenhall is okay, 5'3". He's not going to be a big threat because he's also facing the worst guy. Quick slant to Rich Castor. Guessed wrong, but it hits one of those blanks on Ferguson's card. And the last guy, Steve Riley, 4'3". Well, he's got a 0.7 in there right now, but his usual guy's a 5'5". So a 0.7 on pass rushing situations like third downs and third longs. Also, the Adeline Assassins have 2 6s at linebacker. Oh, there's a must run for -5. Just as I was telling how good his must run card is, that's a loss of 5 yards on the worst possible outcome. There was a player injured on that play, Pete Adams, the right guard. And man, if it would have been Conrad Dobler, that would have been even worse. So he goes from like a 4-2 to a 0-0. The backup that's going to cause even more problems. 3rd and 15. Johnson stays in there. So Dallas is going to try to win this with their defense. Now, crossing pattern to John Holland is going to pick up 7 on a dump off. Gets it close to midfield and allow him to try to shoot for a coffin corner punt maybe and pin him in there. But Dallas has the Pittsburgh Steelers 1976 defensive cards, which are just ridiculously good. So that's how he tries to win these games. He goes for the coffin corner, but doesn't quite get inside the 20. It's down to the 23. And there would have been a penalty on that play, but you can't get to the punter unless you're going for a block. So Jay, by choosing punt return instead of punt block, avoids the penalty and possibly extending the drive. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the screen right to Rocky Bleier. Let's talk a little bit about Adeline's offense, led by Rocky Bleier. There's a 20-yard scamper for Bleier as he takes it out to the 43 on a short gain that hit the best possible result. So right away, Adeline's off and running. Rocky Bleier is just a fantastic guest right runner. He's just been pounding away with him. It lures you into or lulls you into a sense of, okay, I can call run safely. Just like here, Tim's calling run. No gain there. But then it'll hit you over the top. Craig Morton is his quarterback. And we saw the strength of Joe Ferguson was his lack of picks. The risk you run with Morton, he has good receptions, but he does throw interceptions. He has good hit numbers, guessed right, short gain, guessed wrong. He's fantastic. Guessed right flat, guessed wrong flat are his strongest columns. There's a hitch to David Knight, and that is incomplete 2 men in the zone, that would have been a pick. That's another thing, too, that these Steelers don't give up a lot of yards and they get a lot of turnovers. That's the Dallas Destroyers using the Steelers in defensive cards. A lot of teams will use the generic defensive, a lot of leagues will use the generic defensive cards, and that's the way the IFL is headed, but not for a few more years. It's not until the 1980 season, I think, is when we switch over. So it's 3rd and 10. Don Calhoun's in the backfield. Crossing pattern to Ken Payne. So big turnover alert. That's what you got to watch out for. Defender extra plus 15, and he doesn't bring it in. Roland Lawrence 5 against the white die 5. But you can see the high pick chances there on a 9 and a lot of blanks on that Dallas Destroyers defensive card. 38-yard punt. Cullen Bryant has an excellent return card. And he gets 9 yards, takes it out to the 28. So this is the way Dallas will play. They just want to win the game with their defense, try to win that field position battle, chip away with their runners, and put you in a hole. You don't want to have to play from behind against that Dallas defense. Guess right run, it's going to lose a yard. 2nd and 11. Sam Scarver checks into the game. The offensive weapons for Dallas are pretty nice. There's Ron Jesse. He's got a lot of long gains, a lot of plus 20s on that short game, on that short card. Curl to Jesse. He tries to hit him. He said he gets a dump off for 13 yards. He'll take it. And Billy White Shoes Johnson is the other receiver. Actually, he's the 3rd wide receiver. John Holland's the other receiver that's in there right now. It's going for yardage over hits, so he's got a lot of big gains there, even though his receptions are not the greatest. Up the middle to Pete Banaszak. It's going to pick up 5. 2nd and 5. So again, Adeline has 2 6-rated linebackers, Jack Lambert and Charlie Weaver. Weaver's got great pass rush. Then he's got Matt Blair there, a 5. All 5s and 6s on the defense except for this one defensive tackle. Up the middle to Banaszak's going to pick up 3, guessed right. He's not much different, guessed right and guessed wrong, but he just gets you those steady yards that you need to move the chains. 3rd and 2. An obvious run situation, but will Tim switch it up and try to get a big chunk play here? Nope. Off tackle right to Sonny Collins, defensive tackle plus 0, plus 5. So he goes right after that one weak link on the Adeline defense. Jimmy Webb and his 4.8, good pass rush, but he could have an impact as a pass rusher because he's facing that 0-0 after the injury to Pete Adams. Into Adeline territory for the first time today. Screen right to Andy Johnson. And he hits that white die 6. Again, not many weak links on that Adeline defense, but he targets the 4 defensive tackle on 3rd down, targets the 5 outside linebacker on the very next play, and he's rewarded for it. We talked about Dallas, selecting the 1976 Pittsburgh Steelers defensive cards. Adeline looks like, I have to look it up. I'm not sure which team they have. Atlanta. That's right. I think they have Atlanta. Let me check, though. Off tackle right to Andy Johnson. Atlanta, believe it or not, has a crazy good D card in 1977. Let's check the 76 stock Atlanta card. Does that look familiar? Does that look what we're looking at? No, it doesn't look like that. I don't know how we can tell. 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard run by Andy Johnson. Quick out right. He puts 2 men in the zone. So Jay says, you fooled me once, shame on you. You're not going to fool me again. And he gets the 2 men in zone reading instead of a guess wrong receiver reading. Let's check the regular season file. And Adeline. So they have the 1976 Dallas defensive cards. So 2nd and 13 after that 5-yard penalty. Pitch out right to Andy Johnson. Guessed wrong. Nobody's in the zone. The guard doesn't make the block. I don't think he would have anyway, because even with Pete Adams in there, let's look at Dallas's card. Yeah, Pete Adams. Oh no, he would have. He was a 5-3. That's the thing. So he would have made that because the white guy was a 5. So that would have been a 7-yard difference there. Injuries can make a big impact. So 3rd and 12 here. Let's check the broadcast. Everything seems to be in order. Actually, I can share this out too. Let's see, invite. In case anybody wants to join the live broadcast. 3rd and 12, 5:24 to go in the first quarter. Do you run it here and try to get into field goal range? He does, but Jay anticipates Tim's move and calls run. Otherwise, it would have been a 6-yard pickup to get him into range. Let's look at Dallas's field goal kicker, and he's very good up to the 32, 2 through 9, 11, and 12. Wow, that's fantastic for this era. But only 2 and 3 from this range. So he goes for the coffin corner punt, but he gets a little bit too much leg into it. And Adeline survives that threat. It looked for sure like Tim was going to get into scoring range. But a penalty and a couple of good calls by Jay. One good plug where he put 2 men in the zone, and calling run on 3rd down and long. Quick out left to Gene Fouget. And as a fumble, it looks like Dallas might have this. Bill Berge did pick it up, but it was an illegal contact penalty on Dallas. How did they even have enough time to have someone have an illegal contact on a snap fumble? A little bit of a logic difficulty to comprehend there. Curl to David Knight on 1st and 10, and here comes the pass rush of Dallas, and they put Craig Morton on his back. That was Jethro Pugh up against Andy Marr. Let's take a look at Adeline's pass blocking. 6'7" Dan Deerdorf, 5'5" Noah Jackson, 5'2" John Fitzgerald, 4'2" Andy Marr, and 6'7" Ron Yeri. So he's got 3 really strong run and pass blockers. Incomplete on a 2nd and long. Tim had called run. Really, his offensive line is really a strength. The only 2 weaknesses as far as pass blocking are the center and the right guard, and that was what came up in that previous play. So 3rd and 18. Got a couple of spectators joining us. Let me share out the link to the broadcast. Inside run to Don Calhoun against the pass call. So he's just trying to run it. He's get a short gain. It's going to get 16 yards. So that'll leave him at 4th and 2, but helps him adjust the field position battle a little bit. Again, that's the way Dallas wants to get you. A 40-yard punt. Down to Cullen Bryant. Doesn't have those huge numbers on the edges, but he gets you that steady 12, 7, 6. Well, 7 and 6 are on the D cards, but 12, 7, 21, 9, 16, 25. So again, adjusting the field, shifting the field, giving Dallas a field position advantage. They'll start from their own 39. Off tackle right to Andy Johnson. And he's going to bust a big one, 35-yard run on Snake Eyes. Down to the 26. Spectator left game. I swear I thought I had Andy Johnson in some league. First and 10. That's too difficult to find. Let me see if I can do quotes here. See, you use this little quote feature. It's only going to find exact matches, not Andy or Johnson. 2nd and 6 on a 4-yard run. Guess right run. I think I may have cut him at some point, but I don't see anything that says that. Maybe getting mixed up with the Summer Thunder league. Pitched out right to Andy Johnson. That's going to be no gain. Guessed correctly. That would have been a short gain. Guessed wrong. So good call there by Jay as he tries to stop Tim from scoring again. We already saw how good his field goal kicker is, so it might be tough on this drive. You're in the championship game. You want to get you want to get the lead as quickly as possible. It doesn't matter if it's a field goal or a touchdown or whatever. So he goes 3 wide. White Shoes Johnson in the game as the 3rd wide receiver. Banaszak in the backfield. He could still run it here, but you're running at a 6 linebacker. And Jay switches it up and goes 4-3. Not going to give him a chance at one of those boxes on 8 or brackets on 8. We saw him call run before, but it's not going to do it this time. Ew, it's a white die 6. There's a penalty flag down. And there's going to be a personal foul tacked onto it. So suddenly, Dallas has the ball at the 6, 1st and goal. Up the middle to Banaszak. Guessed right. 6 yards. Touchdown. Dallas is on top. There's the kickoff, and it's coming out to the 23. And this will be the last play of the first quarter. So Adeline knows what they're up against now. Facing the best defensive cards in the set. Sideline right to Ken Payne. Guessed right. 1 man there. It's going to lose a yard. With a high turnover quarterback against high turnover cards. So good start for Dallas. Ooh, long gain. It's a flat pass right. It's going to hit the snake eyes and go down to the 36-yard line as Craig Morton hits Jean Fouget. Fouget? Gosh, that's a tough one for me to pronounce for whatever reason. I just want to say Fugget, but I know it's not that. Fouget? Fouget? Fudget? Fugget? I don't know. Inside run on a pass call to Rocky Blyer. So we talked about the good linebackers of Adeline, but look at the linebackers on Dallas. They also have 2 6s. Chris Hamburger, Bill Berge, and then they have a 5 in Ted Hendricks, who was blitzing on the play, I think, or was it a white die 6? It was a white die 6, and he was there. So he left him home. Inside run to Blyer, and he puts 2 guys there, trying to mitigate the damage here. 3rd and 8, at the 34. Now we saw Dallas in the situation earlier. They ran it to try to get in the field goal range, but Jay and Adeline called run, stuffing him outside field goal range. So 3rd and 8, 3-3-5 up against the standard 2 tight end set. Let's see what he does here. Again, you're running at a 6. So you're not going to break contain, but you could get those brackets. He does go off tackle. It is a pass call, so guess wrong. He wants to get some points on the board. Hits a short gain. It's going to get stopped there. 4th and 3. So out comes Pat Leahy. Let's look at his card real quick. And it's bad. Oh, it's a 2 through 7 and 12 from this range, and he rolls the 8. Okay, Tim says be right back. I had another game I was supposed to call today. All right, he's back. Quick slant to Rich Castor is only going to pick up 1. So 2nd and 9. On to John Holland. 2nd and 9. Defender extra long game, but he's covered by a 5. So that's not going to go anywhere with a white die 4. But aggressive move there by Dallas, trying to put the pedal to the metal. Ferguson's doing well so far, 6 for 8. And of course, his specialty is not turning the ball over. Adeline would like to get a 3 and out here. Crossing pattern to White Shoes Johnson, and they're going to sack the quarterback. Ferguson's on his back. Jack Gregory up against Steve Riley. So an unlikely sack there. I knew there were some good matchups for Jay, but that's not one of them. But he'll take it. Pins him deep, 4th and 18, and here comes Dave Green. Only a 32-yard punt. This is going to be great for Adeline. Oh, they fumble it. Oh, no. Who's got the ball? It looks like Dallas has got the ball back. John Holland recovering the ball. So it's going from bad to worse for Adeline. They had a chance there to get a decent return, start their drive in Dallas territory. Instead, it's Dallas continuing or starting a new drive in Adeline territory. Penalty there. It's going to push it back 5 yards. So 1st and 15. Now they're back in Dallas territory at their own 49. 10:48 to go in the second quarter. Sam Scarborough checks in the game at fullback. He's got that plus 13 guest rung on 7. That might be what Tim's hoping for. Or maybe he airs it up a little bit, tries to get a short pass to Jesse. Quick out right to Castor. Guest wrong's going to pick up 9, but there's a flag on the play. And it's illegal contact on Adeline. He'll accept the penalty and start the drive over. 1st and 10 at the 46 of Adeline. So Rich Castor's been been targeted on a couple of plays that have come back. 1st and 10. Off tackle right to Johnson. Guessed correctly, he's going to pick up 4. This is what Tim likes to do. He gets in the neutral situations, grinds it out, gives it to Banaszak, gives it to Johnson, gives it to Banaszak. Jay's got to hope for a turnover here. Andy Johnson's got kind of a high fumble number. Tim's being patient, but he wants to get the ball to Ron Jesse on a short pass, guessed wrong, and hope for a receiver reading. Pitch out left to Sonny Collins. Defensive end -1 or +6. He's going to lose a yard. Jack Gregory makes a play. Jack Gregory with a big sack. Jack Gregory with a tackle for loss there. Only 2 runs so far for Collins today, and he's lost. All right, two runs for 4 yards. Banaszak in there in the 3 wide. Tim's looking to throw it up here, hope for a dump off. Maybe a completion. He wants to avoid the sack, though. Curl to Jesse. He's guarded by 6. 16 yards. And that's going to be 1st and 10. First and 10 down to the 27. Off tackle left to Pete Banaszak. It's going to lose a yard. Second and 11. Dallas leading 7-0. And that's going to lose a yard as he tried to go for that opening off tackle, and the zone was plugged. Third and 12. Back to the 3 wide with Pete Banaszak in the backfield. Yeah, so we got 2 championship games going on this Sunday morning, and I've volunteered to call both games. But, they're going to overlap a little bit, so we'll have a little double game action going on here. Up the middle to Pete Banaszak. He's going to lose 2 yards. That's going to push him back. He just wanted to get a little bit closer to make the field goal more of a sure thing, but now he's risking getting the variable field goal range to push him out. Nope, he stays in the good field goal range, so dodged a bullet there. Kick is up and good. So you go from 2 through 9, 11, and 12. If you would have lost a yard or 2 yards, like it would have been +2, that would have pushed him out to only 2 and 3 as good results. Tries to return it, but there's an illegal block on a 16-yard return. Disaster, as they were trying to hit the +84 to give him some life here, but instead they'll start 1st and 10 at the 7. Okay, 6:18 to go in the half. Quick slant to Jean Fouchet. That's going to be a problem for me. 2nd and 10 after that incompletion as it landed on the D cards. So Jay's offense is flat pass, flat pass, flat pass, which works well when you're facing teams without 6 linebackers, because we do have the white dice, being, emphasize 6-rated linebackers here. But when you're facing a team with 2 6-rated linebackers and a 6 free safety who can basically fill all 3 zones with 6s, run up the middle by Calhoun. And as you see there, he brought the free safety down to make 2 men in that zone. Calhoun's going to hit a guest right short gain. Big play there, but there's a penalty. It was on Dallas, and Adeline declines it. So there we go. Out to the 17. That's what he needs, a few more. So 5:42 to go in the half. Sideline pass right. There's what I told you. He brought down the free safety, linebacker in zone, extra short gain. It was a white die 6. So nice plug there by Tim. So he's got weapons at his hand. Ken Houston there, the fine Hall of Fame free safety, just moved right down there. Ted Hendricks came to the line of scrimmage. So maybe he'll target Calhoun on a pass, but he's not a great receiver. So that's not going to be much of a option there. Square out right to David Knight. It's a run call. Guessed wrong. He wants it on the quarterback's card, and instead it goes on the D card, nearly a pick. 3rd and 10. That's what you're up against this Dallas Destroyers team. Morton only 3 of 9 so far, 61 yards. Goes 3 wide. It's got David Knight in there as a 3rd wide receiver. It's got some juicy yardage on his card. Their wide receivers, I should have talked about them a little bit. Freddie Solomon's got a nice card. Kim Payne's got a nice card. Bomb to David Knight. He's going for that big hitter. And instead it's going to be picked off on a dump off. So Dallas defense strikes again. Try to return it, but they're stopped there. He was looking deep. Got flushed out a little bit and had to dump it off. And Dallas gets the ball already in field goal range. Tough matchup here. Craig Morton not having a good game so far. Oh, we do see Mike Kruschek in the game. Why would he do that? You have a guy with low fumble chances, I think, in Ferguson. He's got minimum fumble chances. He's got low picks. What do you get with Kruschek? More completions, but more chances of a turnover. Run up the middle to Banaszak. It's going to pick up a yard. And he has a slightly higher snap fumble check. I liked what Ferguson was doing. Tim wants to put the hammer, bring in Kruschek for a drive on a short field, because you can't switch quarterbacks except drive to drive. You can't switch them, one play to the next. So maybe he figures out on a short drive I can just save him for that key completion. Jack Lambert goes out injured. Oh, no. I hate injuries. You know what? Jay hates injuries too. I think he hates penalties more, but injuries are not good either. Lambert out for the remainder of the game. 3rd and 8. That's a killer. That was an anchor in the middle of his lineup. It goes from a 6 to a 0. Larry Evans is the backup middle linebacker. Off tackle right to Andy Johnson. It's going to pick up 2. Be 4th and 6. No chance for the variable field goal range to take him out of the 2 through 9, 11, and 12 range. And it's up and good. And another scoring drive. Kruschek came in there. He didn't do anything. He didn't throw the ball. He just handed it off 3 times. I'm sure Tim would have used him on a flat pass if it was, 3rd and short or 3rd and 6, something like that. 1st and 10. he doesn't want to risk a sack by throwing it any more than a flat pass with his quarterbacks now. Since he's got the lead, defense is playing well. Adeline's had some key injuries. Inside run to Rocky Blair, guessed right. He's going to pick up 3 on the D cards. Let's see real quick who had the ball first. So Dallas got the ball first. Adeline will have the ball on the opening third quarter kickoff. They've got 2 minutes here. If they could somehow go down and get points, it'd be a miracle if they can get a touchdown. But they just want to concentrate on scoring right now. Pitch out left to Blair. Guessed wrong. No one in the zone. He's going to pick up 5 on his cards. On the dreaded 5, get you 5. That's the kind of back he is. 3rd and 2. Blair and Calhoun. David Knight checks in. He's got such a good guessed wrong yardage card. He even guessed right yardage card. Might be trying to hit one of these long gains or plus 20s if Tim calls a run. Or maybe he's using him as a decoy. You bring him in. You say, oh, he's going to pass. He's going to pass. I'm going to make sure I call pass here. Instead, it's a run call. Hitch to David Knight. He wants it on the quarterback's card, and then he gets it on the quarterback's card. 5 is 10 plus 10, and it'll be 1st and 10 out to the 39. We got to hurry up offense for Adeline. Just out of curiosity, the 5 would have been plus 28. Guessed wrong. But you're risking all these picks if you throw it deep. That's the problem. Crossing pattern to Ken Payne. Guessed correctly. Incomplete on Morton's card. So Tim's calling him well. He's got the better cards. He's got the better team. And he's calling the game well. And he's getting all the breaks. That's the other thing. Jay had that missed field goal, fumbled punt, injuries to 2 key guys. Actually, he only had 1 injury. Sorry, Rocky Blair. The other injury was a guard on Dallas's team. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah. So only 1 injury, but it was a really big one. 6 rated middle linebacker. So 3rd and 10. 52 seconds left to go in the half. Will he run it there to try to set up a 4th and short? It is the championship game. There is no tomorrow. Sweep right to Calhoun. He does try to run it at the 5, hoping to get a white die 3 to break contain. He only gets 4, and he'll punt. It was a white die 1 anyway, but if he would have got there to like 4th and 2, 4th and 1, maybe he goes for it there. I can't see him going for it on 4th and 6. So he's going to punt it. Hope he can get a drive to start the second half that gets him back in the game. Because right now it's all Dallas. White Shoes Johnson is the number 2 returner. He has a touchdown on 2. Not quite as steady Eddie as Colin Bryant, but he's got the big hitter. Plus 25 on 10 and a touchdown on 2. So 15 seconds left. Look for Dallas to take a knee here. He brings in Kruschek. Is he going to roll with Kruschek the rest of the game? I don't know how many attempts he has left. Adeline goes 4-2-5. Takes a knee, and that'll be the end of the half. So let me just double check here, because we are going to be calling 2 games at once here. Let me make sure I'm set up for the USFL Super Bowl. Yep, we're good to go. So Got a 5-minute break here. Broadcast is coming along. So let's just give a quick preview of the USFFL Super Bowl. This is a modern league. It's the Kansas City Chiefs at the New Orleans Saints. Let's go over here and check out the so we want the past championships. Where is that at? Here it is. Okay, so the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl. This is our 4th year in a row. Can you believe that? The Seahawks beat the Chiefs 26-10 in the 2015 season. The Seahawks beat the Chiefs 20-19 in the 2016 season. The Chiefs beat the Eagles 24-15 last year. And this year it could have been Chiefs and Seahawks again in the playoffs. The Chiefs went 3-0, an exciting last-second field goal win over the Steelers. The Saints are 18-0 right now, folks. They went 16-0 in the regular season. They beat the Eagles in the first round. They beat the Seahawks on a last-second touchdown. They were down by 4. They hit that breeze to Josh Hill 9-yard touchdown pass to take out the Seahawks. And now they're ready to host the Super Bowl. Well, not hosting. It's in a neutral site, but you know what I mean. They're poised to go 19-0, to be totally undefeated. So that's pretty impressive. So let's go ahead and start up another copy of the game. You can do this when you're spectating if you really want to watch 2 at once. The IFL Super Bowl has kicked off, or the second half, I should say. Adeline's got the ball at their own 20. Screen right to Rocky Blyer. So we're going to do a little double duty here. We're going to call 2 games at once. And that's incomplete. Guessed wrong. So just nothing going Jay's way so far. So we're going to watch this game. We're going to watch 2 games at once. So that's ready to go. 7-10 Adeline. So we'll focus on the IFL game until it's kind of out of hand, if it gets out of hand, or if it finishes. Once it finishes, we'll focus solely on USFFL. Quick outright to Gene Fouget. Incomplete, but it just seems it's like pulling teeth right now. The Assassins just can't move the ball. So we got a double header today. One championship game after another. 3rd and 10. Craig Morton's going to try to make a connection. We saw what happened last time. We went deep, wound up throwing a dump off, but it went on his card, guessed right, for a straight pick on 11. And on the other columns, crossing pattern to Kim Payne. It's incomplete, but there's a penalty. Is that going to give him a first down? Holding against Adeline. Incomplete, or that'll be declined. 4th and 10. Oh, what did I say? It goes from bad to worse. A blocked punt. Dallas is going to get the ball on the 6-yard line. This is just a celebration for these Dallas Destroyers, as they're going ham on Adeline right now. They go with a full house. Andy Johnson, Sonny Collins, and Pete Banaszak are in the full house formation, with Billy White Shoes Johnson and Rich Castor. Brings in White Shoes. I guess he's got more hits, even though his yardage isn't quite as impressive. 4-3 showing blitz. 1st and goal. You know he's going to run it. Why risk throwing a turnover here? Whoever's throwing an interception, he could fumble, I guess. So there could be a chance of a turnover on a run. But guessed right's going to lose 2 yards. He'll be happy to run 3 times and kick a field goal to go up 16. You're going up 3 scores. There is no 2-point conversions in this. And against this Dallas defense, I just don't see Adeline scoring 3 times. Goes to a pro set. White Juice Johnson and Ron Jesse now in the backfield. See, Ron Jesse's got more hits, guessed wrong. Even though the yardage is there, I would make sure he's in there in the full house. Four three showing blitz. Will he attempt to pass, or will he just be happy to run it and kick a field goal like I surmised? Pitch out right. It's going to lose 3 yards. Linebacker in the zone, Matt Blair, makes the stuff. He might throw a flat pass here. Hope for a white die 6. Hey, bud. Good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
How you doing?
Good.
So here goes the USFFL kickoff. USFFL. One, two, three. Four Super Bowls in a row. At least he got 1 win. That'd be terrible if he would have lost last year. And what would be like the well, he also won way back in 2013. So going for his 3rd Super Bowl. Back in the IFL, he did try a flat pass, guessed right, and it's incomplete. So he'll bring out Tim Leinhart, and he nails it through 2 through 10 from this range. So 3-score lead. Adeline up against it, trailing 16-0. So out to the 34-yard line. Good field position, at least. That missed field goal looms large. Inside run to Rocky Blair is going to pick up 4. So let's see if Jay can grind out a drive here. In the IFL, the Saints get the ball first. Saints have really good defensive cards in this set. This is the 2018 set, and that's a nice start for the Saints. 1st and 10 at the 34. First and 10, he got a 6-yard pickup on 2nd down. Off tackle right to Camara. That's going to go nowhere. Offensive onside guard +5 or 0, and it's Larry Warford's 4. Meanwhile, over in the IFL, a 1st down run for 2 yards. Off tackle run to Blyer. Guessed right again. The tackle +8 or +3, and Dan Deerdorf paves the way. 2nd and 10 over here. We got a 6-yard run as the flats were flooded. Mark Ingram runs it, and it'll set up 3rd and short for the Saints. Second and 5. In the IFL, Adeline has it in Dallas territory. Inside run to Rocky Blyer against the pass call. And that's going to be a 6-yard pickup and another 1st down. Adeline getting back in the game slowly. 3rd and 4 over here. Curl to Michael Thomas, incomplete. And the Saints will punt on their 1st possession. Thomas Morstead in the game. Curl to David Knight, guessed right. Linebacker coming. Incomplete on Morton's card. Guessed wrong would have been a 15-yard pickup. The punt goes down to the number 1 back, but he decides to let it bounce, not taking any chances. It bounces for 7 yards and is down by the kicking team. The Chiefs will start at their own 11. 2nd and 10, a guest right run to Rocky Blyer is going to go nowhere, dreaded 5. 3rd and 10 for Adeline, last gasp saloon. 1st and 10 here, Damian Williams off tackle, +0 or +5. Look at those defensive cards for the Saints in this modern era. 6, 7, 8 is a wasteland. Usually those are some decent numbers in stock league. Kareem Hunt in the game. What's going to happen over here? 3rd and 10, Adeline. He stays in a standard set. This is the time where you might run it with Calhoun, try to break and contain on that end run, hit a short gain. Instead, he goes off tackle left. Again, he's just trying to set up a 4th and short or get into field goal range. There's a 12-yard pickup, and he will kick the ball, I bet. Maybe not, though. Linky's such a shaky kicker. 2 through 7 and 12. He is going to try it. He needs this. He needs this, and he doesn't get it. Again, it's all Dallas today. So 2 missed field goals by Pat Leahy. It's the details that kill you. Over here, the Chiefs have a 3rd and 4. They get this league uses yak, so it would have lost 3 yards, and instead it's a penalty, offsides on the Saints. Unforgivable. Cam Jordan lines up in the neutral zone, and well, not really unforgivable. It's early in the game. He was trying to get a jump. Come on, guys, give him a break. So 1st and 10 Chiefs out to the 22. Dallas takes over. They get a 5-yard run. Well, who knows what it was? Guessed right or wrong. It doesn't matter. It goes on the D cards for 5 yards. And it's just the long day for Adeline continues. Remember, no Jack Lambert in the game. Square into White Shoes Johnson. He puts 2 men in the zone. Incomplete. There's a holding call on Dallas, and that'll back him up. 2nd and 15. 2nd and 5 over here, the Chiefs against the Saints. Got Damian Williams in the backfield with Mahomes. There's no 6-rated linebackers for the Saints, so that might be an area that Mahomes focuses on. He does go on a flat pass, square out left to Watkins, and it's going to get a white die 6. That's going to be a 1st down out to the 40. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. So 3rd and 15 over here after the penalty and an incompletion. And this is going to be a time where Dallas probably runs the ball. Doesn't want to risk a turnover. They're happy to punt. Just keep this 3-score lead. Man, Adeline, maybe they should have gone for it on that 4th and 3. But you're up against such, great D cards. It's tough. Pitch out right to Andy Johnson, picks up 6, and Dallas will punt. So let's focus over here. 1st and 5 after a penalty on the Chiefs' first offensive drive. Off tackle left to Damian Williams. I don't know. I like what Tim's doing here, but if you land on those Saints cards, you're in trouble. He only gets 5 yards because we use that low usage running back containment rule, and Damian Williams did not have more than 64 carries. So he's got a good card, but it's not going to be as effective. You only get the full reading of the card when you get a white die 1. If it's a white die 2 or 3, you're capped by their average per carry, which is 5 yards. So 2nd and 5, 1st and 5, perfect time to use them. Pitch out right to Kareem Hunt, save his carries for neutral situations. That's going to pick up 5 yards on the D card, which is a good result. And the Chiefs are into Saints territory at the 45. So after the punt, we got Adeline getting the ball back. So they did a coffin corner punt, and it was a really bad punt, only 22 yards. Rocky Blyer picked up 6 yards on 1st down, then an 8-yard look-in pass to Craig Morton to Jean Fouget, and it'll be 1st and 10 at Dallas 37. So now we're still got a chance here. 3-yard pickup. He needs to get points on the board. If one of those missed field goals would have landed, he would be down 2 scores and marching for a touchdown to make it a 1-score game. But instead, it's down 3 scores. He needs to get some points here, make it a 2-score game, and give him some hope. He needs a amazing fourth quarter. Let's check over in the Chiefs game. 3rd and 8 after a 3-yard loss on 2nd and 5. Quick out right to Kelsey, double covered. Nice call there by Dan, and it's incomplete, and the Chiefs will have to punt. 3rd and 1 after a 6-yard guest run by Rocky Blyer in the IFL game. Big play here. It's got Knight in the game. He might go up top. Up the middle to Gary Davis. Guessed right. Nobody in the zone. Gets a 3-yard pickup. First down. Adeline. The Assassins are on the move. Here's the punt by the Chiefs. Down to the 4. Will he let it bounce? No, down to the 3, excuse me. He should let it bounce. And he does. Into the end zone. Saints will get the ball on the 20 on their second drive. Off tackle left to Rocky Blyer. So we're getting close to the end of the third quarter. 2nd and 9. You don't want to land on the D card. $18 seconds to go in the third quarter. Inside run to Blyer, guessed wrong. Only going to get another yard, so you're inching your way down the field, 3rd and 8. But he needs to get a little closer for that field goal chance to be better. So over here in the USFFL, we had Drew Brees sacked by Justin Houston. It was a 40% chance of a sack. And he rolled a random 11. Off tackle to Kamara, picks up 2. That'll be 3rd and 13 as the Chiefs are playing good defense. He's trying to hit. The Chiefs have a lot of short gains on their card. Quick out right to Jean Fougier, and he's being double covered. Nice call by Tim, and that's going to be incomplete. 3rd and 8. It's got to try the field goal. Man, that would have been a time to run it. An 8 on an off tackle would have those brackets and an 11-yard pickup. This time the field goal is good. He gets it adjusted forward, so he's in the 2 through 10 range, and that's just what he needed. So 16-3. He still has a chance. He needs to get a stop and score 2 touchdowns on 2 of his drives. We saw him move the ball. Let's see what Dallas does in response. Here's that 3rd and 13 play, and he hits on the D cards for 12 yards. See, that's the Chiefs' issue. Their D cards are not that great. Will he go for it here early in the game, 4th and 1? No, he plays it safe. He's going to punt it away. Doesn't want to give the Chiefs a short field. 48-yard punt. With Tyreek Hill, you can't just let the punt bounce every time. You got to use that weapon. And he does this time, 2-yard return. I think last time he didn't have a choice. It was one of those forced punt die rolls. So 6 minutes to go in the first quarter here. The Chiefs will get the ball for their second possession. Off tackle right to Damian Williams. And that's going to go nowhere. Okay, we got 10 on a guessed wrong flat pass. Khrushchev gets his first completion of the game with 12:54 to go in the fourth quarter. Of course, he didn't start the game. Joe Ferguson was the starter. He played the first quarter. Off tackle run to Andy Johnson, and there's a fumble. It looks like Dallas has gotten the ball back. So again, every break seems to be going Dallas's way. The only positive thing for Adeline was that variable field goal rule going in their favor. Man, if they would have got the ball back there, maybe they have a little life. 2nd and 9. Oh, I missed a long gain. Look at that. Patrick Mahomes hits Sammy Watkins for a 55-yard pass and then follows that up with another pass to Watkins, but defender X Marshawn Lattimore breaks it up. So that was That was a long gain. It would have been a dump off, but it hit the long gain on Mahomes' card. It'd be 2nd and 10 as the Chiefs are in range. 3rd and 5 here for Dallas. Down and out to Kareem Hunt. It's going to make a completion. 1st and goal for the Chiefs in the USFFL modern day Super Bowl. We got a retro Super Bowl 1976 card set, and we got a modern one with a 2018 card set. Up the middle to Pete Banaszak. That's going to only gain 2, and he'll punt it. Trying to hit a good number on the D card or hit, a failed containment roll on the O card. 1st and goal to 9. Inside run to Kareem Hunt. Guessed wrong, nobody there. But again, the Saints D cards are fantastic. So if it lands on their cards, he should be okay. And he is okay. Only gets 3. 2nd and goal to 6. One more chance for Adeline after the punt. There's a coffin corner, so they'll start at the 23. Over here, it's a 4-3 showing blitz. Off tackle left to Williams. Guessed right or guessed wrong, but there's a man stuffed the zone. And even without that, you are pissing into the wind against these Saints D cards. I know you don't want to throw all the time because you can open it up to double teams and sacks and stuff. But the Chiefs' offensive line is fantastic. They go 6-7, 4-5, 4-7, 4-3, and 6-7. Crossing pattern to Tyreek Hill. Single covered. There's a penalty incomplete. The penalty is going to be against the Saints. So I'll give the Chiefs another try. 3rd and goal at the 3. You have a much better chance of completing a pass, it seems, than running it up the middle. But so we'll see what happens here. 3rd and goal. Let's check on Adeline. They've got it down out to the 37. It's a 13-yard run by Rocky Blyer that got them close, got them their first down. Incomplete pass on 2nd and 10. Let's see what this goal line situation is like. 4-2-5 without showing blitz against the blocking back halfback set. Crossing pattern to Tyreek Hill. He was keying Kareem Hunt, and it's a touchdown. Hits on the D cards. So Tim's starting to get the feel for where the openings are against that Saints defense, and it's not running the ball. So here's the kick. Nice drive, says Dan and the Saints, and they've got their own fantastic offense. So it's going to be like the Saints' fantastic offense against shaky defensive cards versus the Chiefs' fantastic offense against really strong defensive guards, at least against the run. 3rd and 9 after a 1-yard run, and it's 4-down territory now for the Adeline. Look for an end run to Don Calhoun here. No off tackle to Calhoun. It's going to get 7. That'll set up a 4th and 2. It's got to go for it. Okay, Saints get the ball at the 36 after a 33-yard return by Taysom Hill. And they'll go blocking back halfback set. Michael Thomas, Ted Ginn, Ben Watson, Alvin Kamara. It's going to be a quick out left to Watson. It's going to pick up 5. Be 2nd and 5. Let's see what this 4th down does for Adeline up the middle to Gray Davis. There's a 6th linebacker there. It's guessed right, and it's stuffed. Dallas's perfect day continues. Jay had plenty of chances to pick that up. Would have picked it up on a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and 12, but instead he rolled a 3. So that's what happens when it's just not your day. Quick slant to Castor, guessed wrong, and it goes on the offensive cards. A field goal here is going to end it. Linebacker extra short gain. That was breezed to Michael Thomas for 13 yards for a 1st down, and then on the next play, a 9-yard guessed wrong run to Alvin Kamara, and it's 2nd and 1, as the Saints are into Chiefs territory at the 37. 2nd and 1 over here as well. Adeline trying to keep whatever small hope they have alive. They key correctly, and Pete Banaszak loses 2 yards. Pitch out left to Mark Ingram's going to pick up 5, and there's a fumble. Oh, my stars and garters. Turnovers, penalties, and big plays are going to tell the tale in almost any championship game, and there's a big play in the form of a turnover. Mark Ingram coughs it up. He only has a 15 out of 1,000 chance to fumble it, and he rolled a 5. So that's 1.5% chance, and it came through. Off tackle left to Damian Williams on a draw is going to pick up 5 on his cards. 2nd and 5. 3rd and 3 here for Dallas as they try to milk the clock. Pitch out left to Andy Johnson's going to hit the snake eyes. Nobody in the zone. 43 yards, which is going to be a 38-yard touchdown. And Dallas is putting the nail in the coffin, leading by 20 with 6 minutes to go in the game. So let's go check over here. 2nd and 5. Inside run to Spencer Ware, and he hits the 34, but he's another one of those low usage running back containment backs. So he's capped at 5. If that would have been a white die 1, he would have got all 34 of those. 1st and 10, Chiefs out to their own 42. Hitch to Chris Conley. And that's going to pick up 9, but there's a penalty flag down. It's against the Saints for illegal contact. I think you decline that. Take the 2nd and 1 as opposed to the 1st and 5. Let's see what Tim does. He does decline it. We're through the first quarter. The Chiefs have the ball and the lead. They go 3 wide. It's all over but the crying here in the IFL. But we'll keep an eye on it. Inside run to Kareem Hunt. Short gain. 12-yard pickup, and it'll be 1st and 10, Chiefs down to the 37-yard line. Calhoun hits for 4, 3rd and 5. Just a suffocating performance by Dallas so far today. Can you score 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes? Yes, you can, but not against this team. Pitch out right to Blyer. There's a man there, guessed wrong. And it's going to lose 2 yards. You see what I mean? That Dallas D card is just nasty. 4th and 7. Okay, we had a holding penalty against the Chiefs. So that'll back them up from the 37 to the 47. 1st and 20 now. Inside run draw to Kareem Hunt. Guessed wrong. Nobody there. Short gain for 14 yards. So a nice roll there. Got it on the right card. 2nd and 6 at the 33. 4th and 7 here. Crossing pattern to David Knight, incomplete. And Dallas takes over. 4:12 to go in the game. Run, field goal is what you're going to see there. So we'll come back and check on the field goal. Inside run to Kareem Hunt. Another short gain, 14 yards down to the 19. So I said that running is not the way to attack these Saints, but maybe it is. If you land on your cards, you're in good shape. Crossing pattern to right hit. Tyreek Hill correctly double covered. Saints could use a break, and instead they give up a touchdown on a dump off with a yak reading. It's going to go to Anthony Sherman for 19 yards. He hits one of the edges on the yak chart. Sherman is not a great yak receiver. I think he's a C, but nice play there. Wow, says Tim, a.k.a. Big Chief. It was a great call, but not a great roll. So the Chiefs take a 2-touchdown lead in the Super Bowl. Mahomes saw it was double covered and looked for an outlet, found Anthony Sherman streaking out of the backfield, Touchdowns, Kansas City, 14-0. 11:42 to go in the half. There's a kick 9 yards deep. He'll just take a knee. And we got that run field goal. The kick is up and good. And it's 23-point lead, 2 minutes to go. So let's start another broadcast here after this finishes. So we have standalone Chiefs. Eighth one. Pitch out left to Don Calhoun. Now he's going to his money place. But even so, it's like, you're still landing on the D card. You're not going very far. 2 minutes to go in the game. We got a 7-yard run by Mark Ingram. Gave him the ball back after he fumbled it. And rightly so, get his confidence back. He's going to need him today. Maris back there in a 2 tight end set. Pitch out right. Kamara gets 16 yards, close to midfield now. 1st and 10 Adeline as they try to get into double digits. Pitch out left to Don Calhoun. He's going after that 4 defensive end. And he hits a short gain. Jay saying, where were those earlier? Does not get out of bounds. Four-yard run on a pitch out, guessed wrong to Mark Ingram. It'd be 2nd and 6 for the Saints as they try to get back to their Super Bowl. Pitch out left to Calhoun again. And we get another short gainer, another 14 yards, and suddenly Adeline's in field goal range, but they need a field goal and 3 touchdowns. So they need a lot of help. And they're not going to get it, of course. That's over. A 1-yard run on 2nd and 6 brings up 3rd and 5. And the Saints get a run call on 3rd and 5, but it lands on the D cards, incomplete. Gutsy call there. Yeah, I hate to see those when you're 3rd and 5 and you call pass and he runs it up the middle, but instead the opposite works. Everything seems to be going the Chiefs' way. They can't, even the punt doesn't pin them deep. They'll start at their own 20 as it goes into the end zone. Oh, a 30-yard run by Mercury Morris. Gets down to the 2. Inside run to Rocky Blyer. Touchdown, Adeline. Too little, too late. They're out of timeouts. So the final score of this Super Bowl will be 26-10, assuming they don't recover an onside kick. As soon as Dallas gets the ball, they'll take a knee 3 times and go away the champion. They do recover the onside kick. Khrushchev's just going to take 3 knees. He's checking over here. We had a screen right to Damian Williams, and that's going to be 13 yards. Here's an off-tackle right to Damian Williams. Guess correctly. Nobody's in the zone. And that's going to lose a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11. Take a knee to Khrushchev. 1 more knee will do it. Billy Kilmer sneaks into the game. He says, I want to have my helmet on. I want to go in there and take a knee. And he lets him. I think that was an accidental Kilmer appearance. But this game's over. So take a quick look at the box score. And Dallas wins 26-10, 16 first downs to 11. Adeline had the statistical advantage, but we saw why. It's just that Dallas got the brace, they got the fumble punt. Adeline shanked 2 field goals. Craig Morton only completed 26% of his passes. Just a suffocating performance by the Dallas defense. And they come away champions. Great job, Tim. Congratulations. Great job, Jay. Nice job getting there. No stopping Dallas this year, Jay says, and I have to agree with him. So we're going to shut this broadcast down, and we'll open up a new one. So congratulations to the Dallas Destroyers.